Welcome as we start a brand new quarter. This one's entitled Three Cosmic Messages. And of course we're looking at Revelation 14, the three angels' messages that are contained in that chapter. And we begin with number 1, Jesus wins, Satan loses. And of course that immediately brings into perspective the great controversy as we look at how that has played out from, I want to say, time immemorial, before the beginning of this world, way back when. And we are given a lot of good material. We can't go through it all now, but let's start with Revelation 12 and verse 7 and on. There was war in heaven. There's an interesting perspective, because we always think of heaven as this place of perpetual bliss when it's always happy and everything is good. Well, there was war there, and that's when Lucifer fought against Michael, as we're given there in Revelation 12. Michael and his angels fought with the dragon and his angels fought, but he was not strong enough, and they could no longer remain in heaven. The great dragon, the ancient serpent called the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world, was thrown down to the earth, and his angels with him. That's the backdrop, really, for the whole of this quarter. The conflict, the rebellion. What was it over? Why did Satan rebel? Why is there evil in the world? All these questions, really significant, important questions we get to as we look through. So bear that in mind as you think about this. And I do want to bring in Isaiah 14. We often refer to Isaiah 14 and Ezekiel 28. Of course, they're under the symbolism of the king of Tyre and the king of Babylon and so on. But we know who's behind it all. And there are descriptions there that really do eliminate those earthly kings, because they weren't there in the Garden of Eden. They weren't called the morning star and so on. So let's look at just Isaiah 14, 12 to 14. Morning star, son of the dawn, how you have fallen from heaven. Destroyer of nations, you have been cut down to the ground. You said to yourself, I will ascend to heaven. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will sit enthroned on the mount of meeting, the summit of the northern mountain. I will ascend to the high places above the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High. And what do we hear there repeated again and again? I. It's all about me, and this is what I'm going to do. It's a very self-reference perspective, I would say. Morning star, by the way, in the Hebrew, that is shining one. And this is the day star, usually referring to Venus, this quote star, in fact, of course, a planet that comes up before the dawn. And that is why in the Latin, it's called Luciferos, the one who brings light. Pheros, to bring or to bear, and lux, which is the word for light. So he's the light bringer. And that's where we get Lucifer from. He is the one who was the morning star, the bright and glorious one, a title also given to Jesus. So let's remember that. You might want to call your cat Lucifer because he's black, but that is not really what these words are originally saying. So as we think of what is happening here, how Lucifer started this war, what was this rebellion all about? Why did he attack God? Why was it necessary for this battle to take place? And what did it involve? Clearly, it wasn't using the normal weaponry we think of. It was battle for the minds, and it continues to be a battle for the minds as we think about how eventually Jesus does win and Satan, Lucifer, loses. Satan loses because he uses power in the wrong way, because he wants to dominate, he wants to dictate, whereas God simply wants to invite and to bring us in to come back, to be reconciled to him, because we are the ones who are hostile. So as we look at this, let's think about how God uses power and how he wins us back to love and to trust.